Thank you, gentlemen. Now let's put our Tuesday morning quarterback hat on for a second. With this year's legislative session in the books, what would you have added or done differently had you been there? Let's start with you, Josh.
Sure. I would have done the angel investor tax credit. that is one of the things that often I talk about when I talk to folks about the tax bill. Why wasn't that included? Also, I'm one of the supporters of a gift ban of $100 or a gift cap of $100 on ethics. To me, that's an important issue because it's gotten to the point where people are starting to question their senators and their representatives and so on. I think they're very good people. I know them. I've worked with them. I've been on the State Ethics Commission. But it's an area where we need to make sure that there's not that argument that's filtering out there. So I would have supported Josh McCune's bill to do that. I also would have added more regulatory authority for the State Ethics Commission and restored its ability to do that. The third thing I would have done, as I talked about a second ago, is the sunset on state regulations. It's one of the hidden burdens and the hidden taxes in Georgia. The General Assembly will pass great laws, but they'll leave them open-ended and vague, and then it's up to administrative agencies to interpret them. Sometimes those interpretations aren't consistent with the law, and I was in court yesterday on behalf of a client that was having that exact issue with one of our state agencies. So I see the impact that has on businesses day in, day out. Those are some of the things that I would have done.
I would have worked on the repealing of the income tax, even if it has to be tapered off through a couple of years. I just really believe that it's not, obviously just taxes and reducing your taxes is not the only thing we need to do to make Georgia more economically competitive. But when you look at Take transportation. If people are going to vote yes on this T-Splosh, we're going to have a 9% sales tax inside the city, and then we're going to have a 6% income tax. That's going to be really hard to differentiate ourselves in a competitive environment with bringing in new businesses and allowing capital to grow for those people that have already made a lot of money and might want to invest in startups and entrepreneurs who have small amounts of capital. So really got to work on this income tax. I want to see it eliminated in Georgia to make us more competitive. Another thing that I would have worked on is continuing to push the envelope on education. I think that just take one free market principle that we can infuse into public education is digital learning. I think that's a great next step for us to really get economies of scale, help our children get in front of the best teachers in the country, frankly, and also help our teachers give remedial teaching to those that are behind when you're talking about maybe sophomore year. So if you get an assessment, the guys that are in sophomore year, they're smart enough to take AP courses, they can do it digitally without graduating.
I think for me, what I would have done different, you look at House Bill 386. It's here lately, it's been a little bit too little, too late. You put the economic burdens and the tax situation we're under towards the end of the session. They do it on the 39th, 40th day of the session. Why don't we put that up front? That's our number one goal. We're all in the same agreement. The economy's in a tough place. So put that up on the front. Let's start on it day one down there. That's one thing I would do differently. Another thing would be, if I could, like you said, Chris, wave my magic wand, it would be the ethics situation. We've been in the top 10 in ethics in the last decade. Now we're 48th or 49th, depending on what poll you're involved in or you read. So, I don't believe you can legislate ethics. I don't believe you can do that. You either have it or you don't. You either have integrity or you don't. So for me, that's what it's about. It's about putting some real ethics laws in place and really being a watchdog for these issues.
Thank you.